Welcome everybody to this edition of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of the hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with
Uncle Spoke.
I'm Damon Armstrong, man. Looking for a good podcast with my brothers, man.
oh yeah, looking forward
Yes,
to it.
sir.
Uh, everybody, this is Strong Perspective Podcast. Our main goal is to do wonderful things. If we say some things that you guys can take with you and flourish with it, or if it's something funny that we said, from a humorous point of view, we reached our goal because our goal is about conversation. It's about sometimes silly conversation, but the majority of the time it's meaningful conversation because that's what we do. Just for some housekeeping things, please go to our YouTube channel, Strong Perspective Podcast, like, share, and subscribe. You know what I mean? Make sure you subscribe to our situation because what we're trying to do, we're trying to grow. We're 2 years strong in this. And please feed us so you can give us free. All right, fellas. Fluke, how was your day today, brother?
Man, I chilled, man. My grandbaby came over, man, and blessed me with her presents and stuff. And I put on my slave shirt and my what they call them little bags. Did they put the potatoes in? I had messed the joke
Potato
up, man.
sack.
Potato
Potato
sack,
sack.
burlap.
Burlap. I put on my burlap slave clothes, and she said, "All right, now I'm sitting down. Put on Gracie for me." Hey, that you just cooked it. I don't like that. You know that. So you can get that. No,
Yeah.
over here, that used to be folded and messed up. I messed it up last time, but you didn't fix it. So can you properly take care of that too? Well, how's your day, Granddad? I don't know. I was just waiting for you to tell me what to do.
What do you need me to do?
Mhm.
And I enjoyed every last minute of it, bro.
No doubt.
Hey, she's a treasure.
No doubt.
I like it, man.
Jaquar, how was your day today, brother?
My day was great, man. My day was great, man. I didn't set any fires I couldn't put out. All my I's was crossed and my T's was dotted.
Okay. Okay. Well, we were supposed to have a guest today, but things happen. The universe always throws a curveball when you used to hit knuckleballs. So we're just gonna have to uh, work ourselves through it. So
Yeah.
let me do this. Um, Today, in the next maybe 5 or 6 minutes or so, I need you to talk to me about if you could change something about yourself, what would it be? You don't have to be deep and philosophical. Just what would it be? I'll start. Really and truly, what I would change about myself is to become an even greater communicator. Because sometimes God gives us the responsibility and intelligence to hold a heavy load and to be able to teach that load. And me, myself, want to always be on point to teach it. So that's what I would change about myself, to be a better communicator. Anybody next?
I would I would you know what? And no shame or anything, man, but I would change my stutter, man. I really would. Because people take it the wrong way.
Okay.
I don't know. Because they say, well, it's because you're nervous or some other sort of insecurity or whatever. But it's not. You know what I mean? It's I'm thinking about a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? A bunch of stuff, and I want to put it out there in a sane, cogent fashion, but the filter ain't quite. It ain't quite there. So that's what I would change about myself, man. Just to slow down a tick, man, and just understand what the situation is and articulate it with words. You know what I mean? Because when I'm on my shit, it's damn near brilliant.
Just take the damn near out of that and claim brilliant, man.
Well,
Um,
I can't be nobody but me, brother.
that's what it is. What about you, Damon? What would you change?
I'm sitting up here, man, and contemplating things that I would change about myself, man. And me on a personal level, if I think about that, I'm thinking, man, most of the things that I'm thinking about are things that are insecurities. But then I ask myself this question: the people that's in my circle, my immediate circle, do they see the same thing? You know, and what did they get from me just me being myself? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the only thing I wouldn't change is the fact that when there's lessons for me to learn and understand and become better, I wouldn't change that because that's growth and wisdom, you know. But it's
Gotcha.
the people, here's one thing when I think about it. I wish I wasn't bow legged. Now I'd be about 6'8". And then I wouldn't have got all the questions coming at me, man, growing up talking about, well, 6'9", Keith, 6'8", 4, 6'5". What happened? Was you smoking at an early age or something, man? What happened to you? you know. But if
Hey
I was
man,
6'7", 6'8", you talking about being dangerous, boy. So 6'5" to 6'7", that's without a change.
Okay. Um, the reason why I asked that is because a lot of times when we move and navigate through this life, in my opinion, we do two things. This is my opinion when I say it. It ain't no scientific study or anything like that. But how we think about ourselves is not self-reflective. We think about ourselves and what we don't got, right? I didn't say have, don't got. See, don't got has passion to it. You feel some kind of way because it's not in your possession. Having it means that in your mind you believe that you're going to get it soon. That's my distinction between the two words, right? So I think we sit around and we think about what we don't got, and that's predicated on the way we think people see us, right? And I don't think that we're honest at a young age. We are honest when we're self-reflective because we're too busy thinking about what we don't got.
yeah, the inner voice is a liar, man.
Yeah, I think so too.
The inner voice is a liar. Yeah, I forget who said it, but I mean, it's the absolute truth, man. I mean, when I was younger, uh, if I took up half of the real estate that I thought I did in other people's minds, man, shit, I'd be a freaking land baron, man. I mean, people are just going about their day.
They are,
They're just going about their day.
unless
It's a
they
good thing
murder
that
or looking for targets. No, we go ahead.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you're open to it, I mean, we put out signals each and every day, man, to let the predators know that we're open to certain shit,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's
Damn,
really not their fault. It's really not their fault that we choose to associate with them.
that's true.
That's all on us.
I was telling my son the same thing. giving him the definition of what a true friend is. A true friend is not somebody when they feeling down, they want to make you feel miserable. You know what I'm saying? They want you to feel miserable because they feel miserable. That's not a friendship. I don't care if they give you diamonds and pearls. When they want to crash your feelings and your emotions down because they're down, all they do you're their scratching post. And if you allow it, who fault is it?
Yeah, I mean, you have to present yourself to be that.
Yeah. So what you think, Damon?
I think, man, I had to think on that, man, because I mean, you guys, you gave me a whole lot to think about. I mean, I think at this point in my life, I'm so ineffective, man. I do listen to that inner voice. I don't want to contradict anything that you guys are saying, but
I
for
said at a
me,
young age. I said at a young age.
oh,
Now,
you talking about back in the day?
yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day, I didn't listen. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of those things where I I hear that inner voice, that warning, and ignored it, and certain things happen. You know, got got caught up and put in certain situations. They happen. So over the years, I had to learn how to trust that voice. So, like I said, I'm not trying to contradict anything y'all saying. It's just for me, that was just my maturation process. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, that's all we asking for.
You know, however, however it came, man, it came. You know,
Yeah, it's
thank
it.
God, thank God.
That's all.
Right,
That's
right.
that's what it is.
Yeah, and that's definitely if you believe in God, that's definitely a true connection that you have. If you don't recognize that you have it, that's a true connection. You know, that inner voice is telling you, "Hey, man, don't walk down that road because it's not safe. It's not safe travels there." But
Yeah,
you
but
go
that's not
down there.
necessarily that's
Hmm?
not necessarily the invoice I was referring to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was, I mean, what inner voice were
Well,
you talking about?
what you mean, Jacquard? Yeah, I'm curious about that.
When I refer to the inner voice, I'm talking about the inner voice that speaks insecurities into us. It reinforces those insecurities.
It's the same.
The-
They
I
the
don't think
same,
they're the
right?
same.
Related. The inner
Let me
voice
see.
is related.
Well, maybe what I'm talking about is the inner voice in its infancy. You know, and as we get older,
Gotcha.
as we grow wisdom, that's when it becomes, you know, a part of your street smarts. Let's say.
Yeah, I get it. I get it because I think a lot of people don't understand because they're when it comes to this podcast, right? The questions we ask each other and the topics that we bring up, they are to promote and provoke thought and conversation, right? But people are used to
Hopefully.
that steady diet of adversarial. Like if Jacquard say, "Hey man, I'm partial to red," and I say, "What you know about red? You ain't been in the gutter long enough to be in red." And and then Damon's like, "Yeah, well, both y'all, you ain't the gutter. I'm the gutter. And now I'm the theologian. I am the professor of all man. Now debate me on it. That steady diet of this, and I'm making fun of it as I go. Or the woman, he ain't nothing. He ain't nothing from 17 all the way up to 50. Men ain't nothing but dogs. Men from 17 all the way. These women, all they want is my money. They don't even look at my sensitive side. You ain't got a sensitive side, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's all adversarial. It's all button heads here and there. And it's like that's what people want, right?
If you that brother out there tricking, don't be confused because nobody cares about your sensitive side. You know what I'm saying? What keeps you up at night?
And
Well,
look,
because you didn't put yourself out there like that.
but
You
here's
feel
my
me?
thing though. I have no problem with a man dealing with gold diggers, right? If that makes him happy. You know what I'm saying? It's just when he participate in that behavior, a regular person, a man, don't have a chance with that woman because she's used to not doing the thing to receive that. You know what I'm saying? Because they both are at the top of the ecosystem when it comes to that, right? Getting paid for your company, right? And paying for your company. Now, what about the other folks down here? What are we to think? How are we to live through that? I've never understood it, man. I respect those guys and women who want to pay for what they want if they can find somebody to do it. I just do. It's weird, but it is.
Well, it ain't necessarily weird. I mean, fair exchange ain't no robbery, but it's with the people who either have judgment about the situation or can't get into the situation. When they have, something to say about it is when, the lines get blurred. I mean, like you said, I don't give a shit about it.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, look, BB King said you got to pay the cost to be the boss.
it's real. It's
You
what you're
know,
paying for.
if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I mean,
So, so let me ask y'all both this: why does the regular people, uh, relationship wise, got to pay for that though? I'm talking about pay for it, not pay monetarily. I'm talking about relation. Do you feel that relationships are suffering because of this culture that we're in right now? I'm talking about real relationships.
Therein lies the problem, man. How the hell did the cultural relationships come in your own personal relationship?
I
There's no
think
way
'cause-
to the two.
everybody's got a goalpost, man.
but you know what it is? Watching too much TV, man. Not watching too much, listening to music. Your favorite music gives you that. I'm not saying it's brainwashing. I'm talking about you aspire. Jaquar, you just said goalpost.
Goalpost is this, man, the self respectability and people to expect you respecting yourself and what you put out. Now, if you out there, like I said, tricking earlier, and you out there, but you want somebody to respect you and your word when you giving advice on how to live life and how to be this and that. If it don't coincide with money and a cost and a price, you can't bring nothing. Emotions or factors out of it, respect factors out of it, all that. It factors out because it's transactional
Yeah.
monetarily. I mean, all relationships are transactional. But in that situation, it's transactional strictly on the monetary level. There's no respect in that. Either you got it or you don't. And that person, be it male or female, is moving on to the next person because your pockets ain't there. Now, you might be butt hurt because you want a gimme or a pass or I'll hit you the next time bullshit. But that ain't going to fly because that's not the transaction that you engaged in. Now, if you want to deal with something deeper than that, be on an emotional, then don't be out there tracking. Don't look for that type of female or male who's about that. I'm only concerned about what you can pay me for my services. What is that? There's only one definition for that. And that's a whore. It's a prostitute. You want to get your feelings hurt?
No,
Then,
no,
then
no.
talk about then talk about, hey man, you know how we do this. No, man, we do this like this. This is what it is. I don't have to respect you. We making a transaction. Pay
I, I,
services.
I ride
There is
with you.
no emotion involved in that.
I ride with you the whole way. But a prostitute and a whore are professionals. That's what they do for a living. You know what I'm saying? So I would not change. I I think gold diggers are separated from that. It's a thin line, but it's a separation. You know what I'm saying? because
Oh, that's something different. We was talking about hoes and tricks. You talking
no,
about dealing with
man,
gold diggers?
yeah, that's always. I thought you understood that. That's what we was talking about. Does it hurt relationships that gold diggers and sugar daddies hurt relationships, or sugar mamas hurt relationships on the normal plane?
Yeah, so when you
No,
said tricks, when you said tricks, I was thinking hoes too. You should have said sugar daddies, bro. I mean, yeah.
I said tricking. I didn't say tricks. I said tricking off money. Come on now, y'all with me, man? Y'all old heads, y'all know exactly what that meant.
most professional players, man. Most professional players in sports, who do they deal with?
I don't know.
They they,
Who?
they go to the strip clubs and they deal with the high price, saying the call girl. That's what they deal with because it's transactional. Hey, I'm paying for a product. That's what it is. There's no, hey man, and don't nobody go to no damn whole house and say, I'm gonna take you out of this one. You know what I'm saying? We
I'm
gonna
sorry,
build
what?
something.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, they do.
Come on, man.
Yes, they do.
Oh, come on. Hey, look,
Bros probably get told that shit
if
every
that
other Tuesday shit.
look, if that prostitute do a number 26 on that brother and blow his mind, he going in there with his pistol drawn like, you coming with me.
Yeah.
You know what the
Ain't
cat told
nobody
me?
else had that.
You know the older cat. I don't want to get too damn expert. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it clean. Old
Keep it
cat told
clean.
me one day. Old cat told me one day. He said, "Man, these young cats around here running crazy over what these little girls dropping down on them and stuff like that." He said, "Do you know you could take that same young girl, go home in your bathroom, imagine what you want her to do to you, and enjoy it more because ain't no talking, ain't no bullshit, ain't no money being paid out."
What you say?
Mm.
Hey, Fluke, what you say? Nothing but cooperation.
You understand? And the next time you see that female and the negotiations go wrong, you can say, "Well, I already had you. We good."
I mean, but what about the chase? I mean, what about the walking up and the negotiations and shit?
Oh man,
That ain't that a part? Ain't that a part of it?
no, we going. Y'all go ahead
It's
and
like,
on down a slippery slope, man. Cause
well, I'm
I'm
just
not.
saying. I mean, it's like for me, it's like a dope fiend. Like right before somebody started to get high, or whatever, they started farting this shit,
Okay.
and the anticipation of getting high. Because they cut drugs with baby laxative.
Oh shit, Jaquan,
Yeah,
you
they're
just
kicking
got
and farting
technical.
on themselves.
You some
What the
funny
fuck?
dude.
I'm just trying to.
No. That was funny. That was funny. But look, we getting out of that because, ladies and gentlemen, really, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing, we're just joking about this whole thing. But
Hmm.
when it comes
That's
to,
how we do. Joking about it and challenging each other, man. That's all.
but I tell you, the funny thing about it is, the only real question I did have was this materialistic world. Is it hurting regular relationships?
Being a materialistic person, man, it bleeds together, man, because every man and female going into a relationship expecting to build something, man. Relationship wise, emotional wise, and monetarily, and the things that you can buy. You know,
But that's my point. That's my point.
but you got to find the right balance, man. But finding that right balance, man, in terms of relationship wise, you got to figure out what it is that you want from that person, how it coincides with your life, man. Do it make sense? You know what I'm saying? Am I living my life in that direction? You might run into a female might run into a guy, man, who in his he's in his early 30s now, but in his 20s, all he did was hang out, party, and all that stuff. And now all he wanted somebody, man, he can put him in the house, build on that. When he come home, he wants something to eat, all that. Hey, let's go to the club. No, I'm good where I'm at, you know, so and so forth. Because he don't want the drama outside of that dwelling or that domain he's trying to create. You know what I'm saying? It's all about experience.
I will add on, put a little thing on that. A brother, if a man does it, and then he's out there doing this thing in his youth, and then he wants to get married, it's because he don't want to be alone. He don't want to be alone. Unless he falls in love, right? He don't want to be alone. And he don't, and the places that he's been, his dating pool is that quick, fast, everybody there is like this. This is what they're doing. The men and women are there. They only thinking about that club, that strip joint, that whatever. That's all they thinking about. But then he's like, okay, I'm burnt out from this. I don't know no more than this. But also I'm seeing myself. Where am I going to be? I'm going to throw this word out there, but it's a loose word. My legacy. What is it going to be? You know what I mean? I think women do it the correct way. Sometimes I think it's too early, but they do it the correct way. They get involved with a person early on that they see themselves being with. Feel what I'm saying? Whether it works out or not. That's the first one, right? Now, depending on how that goes, it is guesstimation, ladies. I'm not telling you that's how you do, but this is just from experience, just knowing people, different people. From that guesstimation, that next relationship they get in, the first relationship, whatever came from that next man is going to be treated according to what happened in that first relationship. Right?
A lot of people would just call that a learning curve, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but my point is this. I misspoke. Men and women do it. Because if a man gets dogged out with his first love, the women that follow, he don't really give them a chance. You know what I'm saying? Unless that special woman comes. That's my opinion. Folks who's watching, give us your opinion on what I just said or anything that send a remark. We'll put it on screen and we'll discuss it. Keith Barnes.
That's funny.
I just love the way you just advertise. What's up, brother? You got a live one tonight. I see y'all talking about me and telling my business. Low key advertising.
Plus, man, I think, in regards to relationships, man, I mean, we don't encourage, or I don't think we were encouraged ourselves, man, to give a person our best years. You know what I mean? The years that we out in the club, the years that we out in the club, trying to lay up with everybody and, staying up 2-3 days at a time, partying and everything, man. If we put that time into a person at an early point in our lives, we would probably be with that person for the rest of our lives. Put a lot of work in, running the streets and fucking about. Okay. A lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money. If we took those resources, man, and applied them to aspects of actual happiness, real happiness, it'll work out a lot better for us in the long run, I think.
Well, one thing that this is a scenario aspect, man. You got a brother, man, who find a female, to keep the house clean, cook for him, go to work every day, to the point where he like, baby, you work hard as hell every day. And you coming home and cleaning and stuff. Maybe I need to step up in that regard. Instead of having the attitude, that's your place. It ain't my fault you chose to have a job. But, I'm here doing my best to take care of you. Can I have my plate fixed? You know what I'm saying? That's taking the world into your relationship, man. Because the one thing you can't deny, bro, is when you see your woman come home from work, especially you got one of them high-pressure, stressful-ass jobs, and she's like, I just went through this bullshit, and I got to make him a plate. You know what I'm saying? Get your ass up and make your own damn plate.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that, dog.
What are you losing? What are you losing in that?
I feel that.
Anybody that works out of anybody that works out of the house, man or woman, they both grinding and they both dealing with the world, man. The key is to not let that shit come into your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see your woman limping. Hey, sit down for somewhere, man. What are you doing? Oh, I can do that. Sit down. You know, or sit down, sit, or the opposite. You sitting there watching the limp, trying to make you something to eat. Talking about, there she go with that shit. What happened now? Why are you so stressed out? You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking at that person for what they are, tired, feet hurting because they walked a mile. You know what I'm saying? Sit down, man. Let me hook you up. And I'm not pandering. I'm just saying shit works both ways.
Okay. Let me ask you this then. The way that you treat your mate in your relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and wife, or whatever, right? Does it have a lot? Does it reflect on what you think about yourself? You gave the example of cooking and cleaning, right? If you didn't know how to do it because you had that kind of mother or grandma that cooked everything and washed everything for you, right? And didn't bother to try, but your mate decides to do it. Would you, in yourself, learn how to do those things to take some of the burden off your mate? Does it have a lot to do with these relationships out here? Does it have a lot to do with the way the man and the woman think about themselves, in your opinions?
I would say, I never really thought about that. In the times where we was beefing or whatever, or I might have had some slick shit to say, I always concentrated on the way I felt like she let me down. If you could,
Gotcha.
if you could understand that, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But as far as I would say, I mean, I think of myself in a very high regard, man. And I, I always see, put my wife on the same, if not a higher pedestal than me, just because she's my wife. You know what I mean? She's a person who I chose, the person that I chose. You know what I mean? And it's not like, well, that's it.
For me, for me, it don't coincide with the individuality. And what I mean by that is, I know how to cook. I'm a damn cook, especially if I got a taste for it. And if I decide to go in the kitchen and make it happen, everybody benefits from that. Man. You know what I'm saying? It's not, well, I didn't cook the last 5 times. If I got 5 meals I want to prepare, that's what it's gonna be. You know, the only thing I'm gonna be upset about it if they tell me it's nasty, is it's not palpable. You know, especially if I put my 100% into it. But the bottom line is, if I'm able and I'm capable, I'm gonna do it because all three of us was those grandkids that our grandmother took us in the house in the kitchen. We had to scale live fish and gut them and all that stuff and prepare meals. We know how to do that. You know what I'm saying?
If you
We
don't,
know how to cook biscuits from scratch from our other grandmother, Grandma Lucille. We know how to fry fish. We know how to spice it right. We know how to cook stew. We know how to cook spaghetti. We know how to cook all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not about who does what. It's do what you know how to do, and everybody benefit from it. I don't incorporate somebody's opinion in that because I already know how to do that. You can't tell me anything. You can make a suggestion. Man, you put a little too much salt in it. I can respect that because that makes the food taste better in their perspective, you know, or whatever. But as far as preparation, knowing what to do, having the gumption and the will to want to do it for the benefit of everybody, I think that is an equal thing across the board. You know, it's an equal thing across the board. And plus, there's other things in life, man, to be concerned about whether or not who's first to make pots and pans right on the kitchen. You know, how long do it take to cook a meal unless you put on, like, unless you soaking beans and shit? How long does it take out of your time? You know, doesn't take that much. So there's no argument in that aspect. As far as I'm concerned, that's my own personal thought. You know what I'm saying? So if we're going to talk about man and relations, if we're going to talk about man and woman relationship, it's not going to be about who cooking the most or who ain't. You know what I'm saying? Who's if I piss on the toilet seat and my wife come out and say, "Hey man," you know what I'm saying? My first response to that is, "Oh my bad," because I know better to raise the damn seat. Now just think, just from using the bathroom, what can branch out and be more than what it should be. That's just another issue that we're arguing about that don't really matter. It's just lifting up the damn toilet seat, bro. Keeping it moving.
I got it. I think the reason why I asked that because in every relationship that I had, everything that I did, except for the younger ones, but I had to learn everything that I did towards my relationship had a lot to do with how I thought I should be because I had a high expectation of who I was. Period. Not look at me expectation, but getting it done expectation. Right?
Right.
I already knew how to wash clothes. And we're purposely picking the small things so folks could follow what we're talking about. Because those small things are usually thrown in the gigantic arguments,
Exactly.
right? But I was taught how to cook. I was taught how to have a taste, a middle ground taste. I got my own taste in foods when I cook, and then I also have the taste in the food that folks will like. You feel what I'm saying? And so I understand just me, understanding what it is. If my family needs, if it's work to be done, I do it. It's what it is. No, but I'm a problem solver. That's my personality. I gotta try to solve the problem. It's nothing more, nothing less. Because it's like folks get caught up with their egos or whatever, the way they were brought up, and there's no compromise. And you gotta think about it. Ladies, who's the most stubborn out of the couples, ladies? This is I'm not gonna tell you my opinion because I'm just asking you, who's the most stubborn, the man or the woman in relationships? Who's the most stubborn? Because you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it this way. Long-term relationships couples like to bicker. I say like because you can easily not bicker. Meaning, if somebody says
Man.
something to try to get you go,
Right.
they know.
Right. I'm gonna cut you off, but you said couples like the bicker. That's low hanging fruit, man. Because who know you more than your partner?
But that's the point. That's what I mean.
Right.
I said long-term couples, they like to bicker. It's sort of like an exercise. You know what I'm saying? But then if you're not feeling, and this is my opinion, if you're not feeling good about yourself, that low-hanging fruit starts to cut deep when it's a dull knife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's that.
You know, so it's to me, it's all has to do with your self-esteem, your self-worth, all these different things. I have a caretaker spirit. I like to solve problems. That's just who I am, right? Everybody's not like that.
You want to know my struggle is if I say something personal, and I'm not finna get deep with this shit, but I'm just gonna say just on a general term, man. If there's arguments going back and forth on little shit that can be easily accomplished and done within a matter of minutes in some aspects, I wanted to do that if I can spend this time with you. If I get this thing done that you were worrying about, I don't want to hear about that shit when I'm spending time with you over here. You know what I'm saying? Just about me and you over here. Over here, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get it done. But over here, I want you to appreciate the fact that not the fact that I did it because you were complaining, but I did it because I don't want to talk about it while I'm over here with you doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because I done set it out. Hey, I done planned this, I done did that, and I got that set up or whatever, and everything is running beautiful, and we where we supposed to be, and we having a good time, and then you bring up some shit that I got done in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Except the fact that it got done, it's not. It's a non-issue. Now, while I have you over here, I'm not going to be stressed out because this is where I want to be over here with you. The cornbread was dry. I'm not going to be over here, man, getting room service for goddamn cornbread dry. Okay? Then I got to build my kitty back up again.
Mm. Me,
Hey,
I'm like,
hey,
the
hey,
cornbread is dry.
hey,
Well, make it yourself there, goddammit.
hey, Jakar. We didn't order some goddamn beef, whatever they call it, beef Wellington and shit. And you talk about some dry ass guy, you better eat that shit because
Oh man.
because that went deep in my pockets. I don't want to hear that.
Do not offend Wellington or my pockets. You better eat every bit of it.
Every bit of it and better enjoy it. That
You know what, man?
that has nothing to do. This over here has nothing to do with this over here. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, me being honest, man. You know, some of my, you know, my marriage have been over uh, uh my sense of lack of appreciation for shit, and I didn't think I was that kind of person. But I'm like, you know, the more and more I hear myself say shit like, "Well, damn, you can say thank you." Well, not really. No, she don't, because she ain't forced me to do it. She ain't make me do it.
I get it.
I did it because it was on my heart to do it. Now, just because my actions didn't goddamn create the response that I desired, is not her fault.
No
So,
doubt. No doubt. Keith commented, I believe some have low self-esteem and feel like they can't have it all, wife or husband. So they start scavenging little pieces of pleasure they desire. Okay.
yeah,
Hey, look,
keep sound like a Harlequin romance.
that's it. That's it. Hey, as she stared wantonly into my eyes, my loin said, hot damn. No,
He said, "Lord, oh my
The
God."
crazy part
look,
about it, crazy
look,
part
hey,
about it in the
Damon,
beginning, you know
Damon,
that.
Damon, you see what Keith put on the screen? You gonna eat your cornbread? Go ahead, what you was gonna say, what you gonna say?
I'm saying, man, if I'm in the position, man, and, you know, I'm not speaking. I'm not talking about me and my. I'm just speaking on a personal level. If I'm in the position where I decide I want to make a great day, and the person don't appreciate it, I can note that and put that to the side. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna feel bad for doing what I did.
No,
I wasn't asked to. I did it because I wanted to make it. I wanted to make it a event. I wanted to make it a big thing. You don't diminish.
Yeah,
You don't diminish
but what
the.
if,
now, if I spin a grip,
but what happens? What
I'm gonna
happens
have
with
just a little bit of, you know what I'm saying?
what happens when y'all arguing and shit? You be like, well, shit, I went all out for your birthday, and then they be like, well, I didn't ask you to. Then how you handle that shit?
Oh, she got a birthday next year, right?
How do I handle that?
And I'm speaking from
Yeah.
a petty point of view. Okay,
Is it petty?
yeah, it
Is it
is.
petty?
It
It's
is.
petty.
But
If you
it's
go
easy.
all out for her birthday, you're doing that for
It's
her,
a slippery.
and you're
It's a
doing that
slippery
for
slope.
you.
It's a slippery
You're
slope.
Hmm.
right, Daniel.
But
You're right.
that's what Keith just said. Are you doing it for you?
I'm like celebrating somebody else's birthday for me. How could that work? How that work?
As you say,
So,
going all out when you could just give her a card and then
and she'd have
call her.
been okay, cool, thank you.
Yeah, call with some money in it, some a heavy ass card. Pow, like you're playing spades. Boston, you know what I'm saying, with money in it, you know. But see, here's the thing, man, and feel free to comment on this, guys, if you want. Do you find it hard? Your relationship, as long as you've been in your relationship with your mate, do you find it hard to come up with things to entertain her? I'm gonna go first. I've been with my wife for 38 years. Friend, boyfriend, fiancé, and married husband, right? You know that, fiance is a play on words. Finance, that's what the
That's
fuck
what I
it
say.
is.
Yeah, yeah. I got. I see what you did with that.
Yeah, but I digress. Let me move on. And every birthday, I went all out. Meaning, what was within my budget, I made sure that Kia had a wonderful birthday. Right? That's 38 years. And me, I do not like recycling presents. And this is the spirit of what I'm asking you for. Is it hard to continue to find something new for her birthday?
No, no. I mean, as far as planning and purchasing, that shit, that's hard.
Oh, so she plans and purchases her own birthday present? I
I
got you.
mean, if she wants something, she'll buy it. I mean, you know,
You don't,
I've
you don't,
long, I've long stopped trying to buy anything for her,
okay.
without her being there,
Yeah, yeah.
because she says that our tastes don't match.
And now that you mentioned that while we're waiting on Damon, you know what? Usually, what our wives buy us, that ain't our taste, right? Unless our wife fashion her taste into our taste. And we just so happen to look good in whatever she buys, right? But in the
Yeah,
beginning, we don't have the same taste, but what do? We accept it, right?
yeah. Because
But as
I accept it because I'm not willing to spend the money that she's willing to spend on certain pieces.
I get that, I'm talking about the nature of the energy of it, right?
Hmm.
Where my wife would tell me, Keith, you know I don't like purple. Why you get me purple? You know what I'm saying? Where's the
Hmm.
receipt? Now, understand this purple gift. I did all the the studying, all the ciphering, all the different planning around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to hand it to her, and I'm joking more than being serious, but there's some serious in there.
Well,
I hand it to her. Well, you know I'm boycotting Gucci, Keith. You shouldn't have did this. Where the receipt?
you know, I mean, could you imagine the amount of married men who have actually given their wives exactly what they wanted?
Yeah, I
And
know.
you know what I mean?
But
So
you would have asked. See, I'm gonna tell you, that's what I did. I took the guesswork out of it, bro. I'm like, yo, a month ahead of time, yo, your birthday coming up. Tell me what you want. You know what I'm saying? And that took the guesswork out of it. But what I would do is throw a little spin, get that gift, and then throw a little personal spin on it. You feel me? But to answer my question, I find it hard, man. For all these years,
Absolutely, yeah.
you know, just to come up because like I said, I don't recycle presents. I can't do that. I wouldn't want anybody to do that. Look, we're men up here. So for Father's Day, we getting tired of socks and cologne and ties. You know what I'm saying?
Man, shit, for a 3-4 year stretch, man, I got goddamn shower shoes and body wash.
That's because you ain't complaining. Hell, they doing guesswork.
I mean, yeah, I mean, but I
yeah,
look,
man. But come on, dog. Come on.
Well, you looking for the imagination?
no. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, body wash and shower shoes. I mean, come on.
I'm gonna tell you. And here's the crazy thing. I had to because I was a basic dude, man. My favorite color was navy blue and black, right? So I would find shit, you know what I'm saying? I would do that. But I have to honestly say my wife opened me up to different colors. You know what I'm saying? Like
I remember the pinks and the lime greens and shit.
Yes,
I
sir.
still got these motherfuckers.
Yes, sir. Hey, look.
Hey, those all I ain't hate because I was like, that kind of
look. Now here's the thing, you know, on my dark skin, of course, those bright colors they're gonna do what they do. You know what I'm saying? But what I did, I started to pay attention on why she was buying it, because she would have an explanation on why she bought what particular color. You know what I'm saying?
Is it because Idris had it on and shit?
Look, here's the funny shit. I was probably about 27, right? And I let my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, I just let her have at it. Just buy me the outfit, whatever you want to buy me, just bring them to the crib, blah, blah, blah. I'll wear them and all this shit. So my Pittsburgh family, y'all remember Nats? That was my favorite spot. I was like Norm up in that joint, right? I go up in there and it was this young lady who my friend used to see, Demetrius. And she's sitting at the bar, she drinking, and it was me and Big Bill and somebody else, right? And we laughing and joking. I had one of the outfits my wife had bought me. It was a summertime, so I had on some navy blue shorts, right? And the shirt I had on was horizontal red and white stripes and a big sailor's
I remember that.
You know the wheel in the middle of the chest, right?
Yeah.
Yo, I was wearing it proudly, and I didn't even think about it because she was my what do you call it, my dress design, you know, my designer, right? So we in there, we laughing, and you know, I was big dog then, this 6'9", rough ready and shit like this, right? And I got this shit on. The lady got drunk and she just talking. Said, "Where your boy at?" Nah, 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 nah. Then she said, "And you big dog, you standing here in an outfit that your girlfriend bought for you."
They can fucking tell, man.
Oh my
I
God.
done gave her the
They can
business.
tell. You be dressing cute, strong. Where your wife buy your clothes? Fuck you
Listen,
mean?
listen, listen. She said that, and it hit me so hard, all I could do was laugh. I fell out. Like, yeah, she so did. She said, I'm wearing it proudly. I look good in it too, don't I? She said, you do, but your girlfriend bought it for you.
Fuck it.
Look,
Fuck it.
I went home. I went home that night. I said, hey, we gonna split the duties. You in charge of buying me certain things, but you got to run it past me first.
And look here, my sister-in-law put a picture of me standing out in front of my in-laws' house. Me and my brother Keith. I had on black and white, and he had on. You remember that picture?
Canary yellow. Yeah.
She proud of the picture. She like these my brother-in-laws here, and I'm looking. I'm like, well, I just be goddamn. You
Yeah,
say what? You know, but man, that's something, man. Look, my designers is my wife and my mother-in-law.
I get it.
You know,
I get
and
it.
it works. And my uncle Kenny, and it works. But I think, man, that I look good no matter what the hell I wear, as long as it's clean and it's
I mean,
wrinkle free
it's true.
and
It's
all that,
true.
and I can put the right accessories with it. You can talk your ass off.
Look, it's true. You know what I mean? I made the clothes look good, man. But see,
It is.
it was just funny. It was funny when we were just talking about,
Mm-hmm. Just
you
like
know,
when I had that burgundy in my head with the high top fade. Everybody in the world talking about, damn, bro, that's tight. Man, that's a good look, man. You know, it coincides with your skin and all. Damn,
oh,
dude, you look tight,
shit.
bro. Brother
Oh,
come home and shit. He see this. He say, "What the fuck is that, man? Is that a frost, nigga? This nigga got a frost in his head, man. Flu."
hey, look, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the crazy thing about it is, I'm learning now. The stuff that I said in jest, Fluke, you took that shit seriously, man. I apologize because you know I was joking. Yeah, and that's what killed me. But later
I was
on,
waiting for my dog to
later
come
on,
home.
listen, I'm gonna tell you the funny thing. Later on, he'll tell me years later. Well, you know when you said that about, I'm like, you mean when I was sitting there joking with you? What the fuck?
Hey, I was waiting for you to come home because my shit was this goddamn tall, curl up, wavy and shit. Everybody getting the
Yeah.
compliments on it. And the only thing you can say was, this motherfucker got a frost in his head, man. And my wife in the background talking about, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit, I grew that shit out of my head, man, as fast as I could.
Let me read a couple of these comments from Malika. Malika said, "Don't buy." It's been up here for a minute. You don't buy your partner or anyone for that matter what you like. You buy them what they like because you're paying attention to who they are. Oh my goodness, snap. Okay, sis. Yes, sir. Good point. Good point. Everybody ain't like that. Uh,
You know,
the only thing I pay attention to when my wife buy me is the cologne, cause she a woman, and if it smell good to a woman, you gotta wear it. Then the next comment, Malika says, I agree. I'm simple. I hate getting expensive gifts because other women like them and your old girlfriend. Ninja, have you been paying attention to me?
Man,
I like thoughtful gifts. Frame a picture
that
of
ain't.
our
that's
family
how
or
it
me
is, though.
during the special moments.
That's
Let
how
me,
it is
but
now.
let me say though, like the shit I bought in the past, it hit. That shit was a hit. So like shit, when when I did it this time and it didn't hit, I was like, well, fuck, man, that's my whole shit. I ain't got nothing else.
Ah, shit.
Brothers, all the gifts I give to my wife, man, is personal shit.
No doubt. No doubt.
All the things I bought for my wife was personal stuff. If I could not figure out the gift to give her, I write a letter, bro. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
write a letter because she don't give a damn about no goddamn Prada, no Gucci, no none of that.
Uh-huh.
I could buy her one of the most expensive purses in the damn world. Not that I can afford it, but if I good and I give it to her, she like, where the letter at? You know what I'm saying? Make this purse you bought and spent all this money and took money out of our house. Make this personal, man, because I could have told you not to do it. Give me the money, you know.
No
And
doubt.
I think that we as men, like Malika's, like what Cuz is speaking on, man, it is personal because that lets you know that the time that you spending with a person, you paying attention, man, to their likes and dislikes and who they are as a human being, you know. And nothing substitutes that, man. You can buy diamonds and pearls and all that stuff. Only people who's going to appreciate that is the people who inherit it, you know. But if it's personal and it goes down the line, that person who inherited it say, "Man, my dad bought that for my mom, and that showed me, man, he knew her. Oh, that's beautiful on a personal level, you know." It took me a long time to figure that out, man. Because
Gotcha.
a brother could walk into a store and just see some glittery, light up shit. And all the other women talking about, man, I wish I had that and buy that shit. But for her, like, why you buy that? It's my birthday. It's not Christmas. You know what I'm saying? You can buy me a fruit cake for Christmas, but my birthday, you better know what the hell you buying. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? That's
Yeah.
meaningful to me. And then you leave it up on the mantle and shit. Talking about, yeah, this what this motherfucker bought.
Hey, look, you know what, man?
I
Last
I got personal shit on the sideline. I'm like, well, maybe I should have put more thought into it.
you know what, man? Last week, last Friday, I asked a question. We had the single ladies, 3 single women and 2 single men on, right? And it wasn't a dating situation. It was just trying to, get them to talk about what's on their mind, where they are in life, because they were all in their 50s. You know what I'm saying? And I asked the question at the end, and I realized it wasn't fair because I thought in my heart, I felt like it was no right answer to it. And I still do feel that way. But in the moment and the spirit of what we were doing, when I asked everyone, would you date you? Right? And I asked it on the spirit of me looking inward, looking at who I am. You know what I'm saying? Who I am as a person and who I would be if I was single, right? And the only person, and Damon and Jaquari, I understood your answers, and the ladies, I understood their answers, but all of us, the one that came the closest of being real about it was Corey, right? He made a joke out of it. This is just my opinion. Now, this is not my telling you that your answers were wrong. I think that was the kind of question that I shouldn't have sprung on people. I should have just asked it earlier and waited to the end for folks to answer it. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's the kind of question, would you date you? Of course you're going to say, yeah, because I got this, I got that, I got this, I'm a wonderful person, and all of that might be true. But my question is, would you date you if you were looking for somebody? You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm realizing, and it's more of a statement than anything, I'm realizing that was kind of loaded. You know what I'm saying?
It was.
Of course
I agree with
somebody
you.
would of course somebody would say the good things or why they would date you, date themselves. So just give me your opinion about it, man. What do y'all think about it, if y'all have any opinion about it?
I think based on the question that you asked, I think, man, when you ask the question, that would the way I was trying to go in the conversation because these were single women and single men and all that stuff, and I'm like married man, so I have to pause my words
Yeah,
based on who I am and my experience. But when you ask the question, the first thing popping in my mind is engaging in ego or insecurity. If I would, you know, that's a question that you could ask my woman, not me. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to try to figure out if I'm insecure. I have to figure out between ego and insecurity instead of I think I'm an all right dude, man. It remains to be seen. You know, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to be the better me, the best, my best self. So I wouldn't say it was a loaded. I understood why you asked the question, but the question denotes picking between ego and insecurity. Is my point.
got you. Corey, what do you think?
I mean, I just I didn't think it was a loaded question. I just thought it was, I thought it was a good question. I mean, uh, if you would have asked it in the beginning and waited till closer to the end for us to answer it, I mean, it would have given us, too much time to load up on, you know, you know, the negative shit. I think. I mean, I think we all answered honestly,
Yeah, I do too.
because I really didn't well, it was me and Corey. That was the only ones who said no.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't-
I mean, and
I,
see, that's the
I
thing.
didn't really think about it too much after that.
I think it was not say it was not the wrong answer to it. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of it had to do with where you are in your thinking
Yes,
and as
you're
a
right.
person.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
you're right, bro. You're right.
And that's why I was thinking about it a lot. Like, damn, because I thought that was a good question. I thought that was a good question to ask. It was
Wait,
just
did I say this, bro? Did I say this? I think you were trying to keep the conversation going. You was trying to spark interest. You was trying to keep, people talking. I don't think it was, based on your own person. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it was based on how you feel internally or whatever. But you were just trying to moderate.
yeah. But we was right at the end though. You see what I'm saying? We were about to be done. And I said, you know what? Let me throw this in here. Because you gotta think about it. Throughout the whole podcast, I personally felt the majority of the responses were honest responses from their point of view. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's like it's what it is. So um, when I was able, it's twice that I stopped Corey because it's out of nervousness that he does it. Stop him from going on a cursing tirade and not not understanding the damn thing he was saying. Right now, I stopped him like, oh, hold on. This because I know him for years. I know you want to joke right here, but this is something that's personal to you, and I think we would like to hear it. And you remember how he settled down and he said it because all the years and the couple podcasts that he's been on like 3 or 4. He has always spoke to that. That's why I put those questions in there for him, so he could actually respond for his therapy. You feel what I'm saying? But I think it was twice I said, you know what? No, I need him for his sake. I want him to answer this. You feel what I'm saying?
I think on a personal level, based on the podcast and what was put forward, man, in terms of questions and who we were having on there, I think me personally, man, that I should have been listening more instead of answering the questions because I'm coming from an aspect of being with a woman almost 40 years.
You
You 40
only
years.
answered two, dog. Not
I know,
purposely.
and you know, and I wanted to make sure I parsed my words in that too, man.
Yeah, but
You know,
that was done purposely. Our input had nothing to do with passing judgment on what they said. It, it,
do you think those three women gave a damn about how I felt as a man who's been with a woman almost 40
it,
years?
it don't make a difference. Yes, they did give a damn about it because you've been with a woman for 40 years. That's why. Yes, you understand. You understand my. This is what I'm saying to you.
I get it.
That's all.
I
That's
get it.
all. It's like understand because you think about the question I asked, and this was last week, folks. If you got time, go to the YouTube channel and check it out. We got reels on Facebook and on IG and our other channel on our Facebook. I mean our YouTube channel about last week. Check them out because there were some great, interesting responses from the young ladies, Alicia, Danny, Gina, Corey, and Keith. They were great responses. And remember what I said. I said, hey, we all of us have decades in our relationships. And that's the only way. That's where I want you to speak from.
You did say that.
You know what I'm saying? So it was and you and Jaquari gave great responses. See, that's the thing about it is because you listen to people. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, and I was this in my 20s, I wanted to be the person to be heard. You understand? When you want to just be heard, that's all you do is talk. You don't listen.
Yeah.
And we're at this point now where we can do both. That's what this podcast is about.
Well, hey, dealing with the fact that you want to be heard, the consequences is the fallout. You know what I'm saying? You
No
might come to
doubt.
a conclusion where you might be wrong. But that's a learning process, you know what I'm saying?
It is.
It's a learning process.
Yeah. Um, and just to let everybody know, Corey has been in therapy for the last 10 years. And he's come a long way. You know what I mean? He's mature, but he's funny. He's a funny
And
man.
and plus he made that statement too, so my brother Keith ain't speculating when he say that. He's made that statement on the podcast.
Yeah, he's a close friend of mine. So and he said it on the podcast like Damon said. So and he has never shied away from it. He's always advocated for it.
He's always been that guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to save these next questions. No, I want to get to one, and then we'll bring it on home. And really and truly, it's a need for conversation about this everywhere. And it is, are we as elders in this generation being heard? Are we as elders in this generation being heard or listened to? Your opinion.
Well, I don't I don't necessarily know if we have anything to say. I mean, we're a generation of old heads who still listen to the same music that our children listen to, and for the life of me, uh, we well, we actually struggle to find that connection. You know, I mean, we're doing the same things as the young folks is doing. We're sitting around, like I said, listening to rap music, man. We're sitting around playing goddamn PlayStation. We getting high. We still running the streets trying to lay down with everybody. Why should they listen to us? We haven't progressed to a level for them to aspire to yet.
So you're saying, sorry to interrupt, you're saying that 40 and 50-year-olds are doing what you just described.
Yeah.
I can understand 30-year-olds, but 40 and 50-year-olds playing
If you
PlayStation.
if you don't think you know something, if you think you don't know some 50-year-old dudes who play in PlayStation without their son and sitting in the living room getting high somewhere, I'll say you're sadly mistaken, man.
Okay, I agree, but we also know that he does all this and he gets up and go to work the next day.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my point is, not disagreeing with you. I think, but no, I asked for your opinion, Ja'Cory. So continue on, because I don't disagree with you. I don't want you. I just wanted you to clarify this a couple things, and that was it. But go ahead, man.
Yeah,
My
my,
fault.
my, my overall point being, man, we're still our generation, at least my generation, we're still in competition mode, man. With people we see as our younger selves. Now we're the ones who have to adjust the mindset because we know better. They're coming into everything that we've already done. So whenever I'm dealing with young people and not almost any situation, but a lot of situations, man, I don't expect them to know what I know. So they don't have to really ask me to teach them. You know what I mean? I'm not overbearing with it, but I'm always willing to share information, useful information.
Yeah, that's true. Since that is the key right there. Ja'Cory, let me ask you a question, man. Um, I get that, man, but what percentage of what you say as black men, you know, follow that course of action? I mean, what's the percentage? Because it's real easy, man, based
I
on.
think it's a high. I think it's a high percentage, man. I mean, but it all boils down to the actual information.
So you know a lot of brothers that's like 40 and 50 years old sitting around playing PlayStation and all that stuff and being irresponsible.
I imagine I do, yeah.
I'm
Okay.
And
inclined. I'm
I'm
disagree.
not, I'm not sitting on this. I'm not sitting on this.
I didn't take that way,
But
man. But your opinion is what
I,
it is.
I, I yeah, I do wish to paint a realistic picture though, because I didn't say that sitting around playing the PlayStation and smoking weed was a bad thing. Motherfuckers got to unwind,
Okay. All
but
right.
there comes a point when you have to put down childish things, especially when you want children to listen to you.
Agree.
All right. Damon, what do you think? Are we as elders in this generation being heard? What's your opinion?
I would love for that to be the case, and it might be happening more than I could imagine because I don't live in the world. I live in my own personal space. But if I was to choose to take a side, I would choose to think that the majority of us are, but that's not the voices that's being put out there. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about it when I think about it in my own personal experience, man, you know what I'm saying? We were talking earlier about cooking for our significant other and all that stuff. My grandmother, hey boy, come in here. Let me show you how to do this. That's personal. Is that happening for everybody? No. So everybody got to go through their own processes. But for me, I know how to cook for a woman because my grandmother showed me how, because my mother showed me how, and so on and so forth. Is that the same scenario or situation with everybody? It's not. No, it's not. But I would think that there were more young black men paying attention to that person who was cooking their meals every day and knowing how to take care of a family as far as feeding them, as far as keeping a roof over their heads and all that. You know, there was a study showed, man, that now all through all of our lives, man, I'm gonna keep it short. All three of our lives, man, we were always told that the black man don't take care of their kids. Now, recently, they just did a study to show that we are the main ones who take care of our kids. Their study showed that. But, but, in your experience, Keith, in your experience, Decoy, in my experience, all the cats we know that got kids, 90% of them took care of their damn kids. Did they get along with the mother? No. But they took care of the kids. They took care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? So do we as a people do our youngest listen to our elders? Do y'all realize that most of the time, man, they're paying attention, man? I don't know what their motivation is in paying attention, but they're looking at a role model. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at a role model. And that role model that they choose to pay attention to, you have two choices. You could be a fuck up or you could be somebody that they can follow and pay attention to. So it's all based on you as an individual, what you choose to do based on your experiences and all that stuff. So yeah, I think they do pay attention. I don't think the world is going to admit that. But based on my own personal experiences and the interactions I have with people, we do. And most of those situations are more intimate than others. And that's my answer to it.
Yeah, I could agree with the majority of that, bro. But would you agree or disagree that in order for somebody to be taken seriously, man, they have to present a certain image?
Right. You have to lead by example. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, yeah. Now, the images that are available for young black men to aspire to nowadays, would you say those are wholesome, upstanding images?
I think that they do. I think that like most people, which cross the color barrier, are doing the best that they can. How do you become wise, bro? You become wise, man, by recognizing and understanding your mistakes and doing better. So,
In a perfect
you,
world, yeah.
so if there's a element out there to only show you bad aspects of it, you know what I'm saying, do you ask yourself, man, are you as going through the process, man, in your own personal way? Do you fit into that category, the negative aspects of it? You look at your life in general. You're not a failure, man. You are an example.
It's it's
With
it's
with
it's not
with
it's
all
not a surprise. It's not a surprise to me that the examples that young people follow in media are what they're sticking to. I mean, because that's what they have. My question is, when do we, as our generation's leaders, ascend to that next level and start to put out the examples that we want to see in our homes?
right.
Okay,
But it's like Leek said though. Some elders are not to be followed or be an example. But
but
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Those are only two examples.
but
All the
okay.
in between shit is what motherfuckers is trying to put you down about. But the two examples, either you is that or you ain't.
Well, let me answer it, bro. Because here's what I've always understood. Most people in everything they do in life try to find the easy way out of it, right? So when it comes to inspiring our young adults and our young adults listening to us, we leave it to speculation. How many times have you heard? Um, how many times have you heard somebody say, "Yeah, these youngins, man, they don't know, they crazy. They don't want to know. They don't want to listen. They don't want to do this. They don't want to listen to that." Right now, are you referring to the ones who dedicate their young lives to the street, or are you referring to the ones that's in your house? You understand what I'm saying? All kids are hard headed. right? But does that stop you from sowing, from planting the seeds to sow? You know what I'm saying? See, here's what it's both sides' fault because they're taking the easy way out. I'll give you an example. Today, somebody called me about our podcast of generating more views of our podcast and all this. And he was talking to my friend. And what he does is he helps people build their channels, right? And he's talking to my friend about me. So he tunes in and just watch a brief thing. And what he says to my friend was, the quality of it is poor, right? He told my friend this. My friend said, well, look, they're all in separate destinations, locations, and and that's how they're doing it. He said one day they probably going to try to put together a studio, right? Then he said, oh yeah, I can help him out and this, that, and the other. But the problem is, now this kid is around in his 30s, but the problem is old heads don't want to listen. And they take offense. And I was instantly offended because you don't know me. No, this is my point. The two of you know that I listen to everything. And I take everyone in consideration, right? But this young man took the easy way out. Now he's trying to sell a service, right? And he didn't know me from a can of paint. He wasn't talking to me. He was talking to my friend. And my friend was going to give me everything that he could because he thought it was a good idea, right? But my thing is, young man, if you're watching this, call me first. Don't give your whole car out in a miscellaneous conversation. Now, I might be wrong about this, but I was offended by what he said because he never talked to me, right? I'm not being overly sensitive. It's about business. You understand what I'm saying? So social media to me is a young man's game in the sense that young kids can get on there and blow their situation up because they're young. And if they crack one good joke, now they're going to have followers, right? Old head gets on there, even though old heads listen, old heads follow podcasts, old heads look at different podcasts, right? They rarely subscribe to them. They just look at the content. They rarely like them. It's not because they're doing something wrong. It's for the simple fact is this. You can sit here and tell me the reason why I may not be getting the views or we may not get the views that we should be getting, right? But are you giving me the answer? Or you taking the easy ride out because you he an old head, so he ain't gonna listen. And that's your expectation when you come into this meeting. And that's where I took it.
What if that was nothing personal?
Say what now?
Yeah.
What if that was a challenge with nothing personal?
Listen what I'm saying to you, dog. I understand that because he don't know me.
But at this point, he ain't got no skin in the game. So this is purely opinion.
Exactly.
He could very well have the key to, taking us to the next level.
Exactly. But let me ask you a question. If you helping somebody who don't have no skin in the game and you trying to help them to do something, how would you approach it before meeting them? And you have a guy who's your in-between, your go-between. What would you do? Pass my information and have him call me.
Had he showed me the video and asked for my honest opinion, I would have given it. And as he probably did.
But here's
moving on from there, if we chose to do business, then I can show them where to shore things up.
But this is my point, man. And this is I gave you this point to help you to understand the question that you and Damon already answered. This is my answer. You take the easy way out. We take the easy way out instead of doing the work for the compromise. Both generational groups take the easy way out unless you get forced to do that. You get forced together, then you got to, instead of coming in with an open mind, what you're doing is, and really and truly, it's easier not to compromise. Even though the people on the pictures on here right now, no matter what business is, the way we move through the world, we can give so much to people just by our experience about the world. May not in the technical sense, because guess what? When we were growing up, our parents said the same shit, right?
As far as what?
That the young folks don't listen. And they ain't gonna be this, and they ain't gonna be that. You understand what I'm saying? That's just a generational thing when you both sides have to make the decision to come together. You got to make a conscious decision to do it, man. You feel me? Because guess what?
So
Go ahead.
let me ask you this. In the long road to what I believe to be our success, you don't believe that there's going to be any offense at any point in time?
That's a great question.
Okay. Now, what I just said to both y'all, do you think I presented it as an example or I was offended by it? I gave you the example.
Kind of both.
No, it's not kind of both. I gave the example to you to let you know how everybody will find themselves on separate ends without really and truly going into it. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's no offense. See, bro, I would have spent a grip on this thing if I was offended by what somebody said about the podcast. Come on, man. Y'all know. So it has nothing to do with it. I'm happy. Like, look, do I want to blow this situation up? Of course. You know why? You want to know why? Because the time that you guys have put in, I would love to see y'all get a little check. I would love that shit. Right? But I know what we've done, and what we've done so far is right. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It's right. It is right. We have done exactly what we set out to do. We have gone out here to do what? To make sure that you see grown people communicate, sometimes argue, but communicate and talk about how they feel. Not in the sensitive realm, but telling you the thing, because everything that was said on this podcast for the last 2 years, everybody goes through. So mission accomplished. But the selfish part of me is I wanted to get to the point where, yeah, y'all get a check. You feel me? That's, man, look, bro, y'all know me. Y'all know who I am. Because you know good and well, if it was all about the money, I would say it and scream it every day. You know what I mean? But I brought that young man up saying, yo, you haven't even got to the person. And you were kind of laying groundworks on, you might be a lazy salesman. You understand what I'm saying to you? That's all. Not, oh man, you offended us because we've been doing this for 2 years. And y'all know I'm a perfectionist. But I like this platform because it's easy and the people can get on. See, that's a lot. That's some good shit. Where you have guests that come on and all they got to do is click on the email, StreamYard, everybody. Check it out. All they have to do is click onto the email and push how many buttons, fill in your name, and how many buttons do you push, guys?
No, this is automatic for me, man. I don't even know.
This is my point. But just to let you know where my head is and how I see things. That's how I see things. But guess what? I know, last thing I'm going to say, I know we are in a place, we the type of guys where if we don't get no more famous than this, or we blow up, our heads are still going to be where they were. You understand what I'm saying to you? You know, I might walk around with my hammer just in case somebody tried to kidnap me for my riches. But other than that, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah. But it's so many different ways, man, to monetize these situations, oh man. And you know, it's about like generationally, man. This is information that was um, I don't know. There was never anything, man, that we had access to that was, you know, potentially as lucrative as the fucking internet is. You know what I mean? It's a whole entire different realm, man. I mean, our generation, man, was encouraged to get out and earn with our backs. You know, if all else fails. I'm not saying that the young, you know, the younger people won't do that. I'm saying they, you know, they find this shit easy. It's a group of it's a group of these young people who find this internet thing easy. You know what I mean? And shit, you can learn. You could learn a lot from difficult people. You know,
And I always do.
and vice
Young and
versa.
old.
You know,
Young and old, man. Oh, I do all the
yeah.
time. Because I choose to listen to
So
them. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
So
And I'm not saying that our older generation don't listen to these young folks. No, I'm saying that it's too many of us, from my view, it's too many of us is using an excuse that they ain't gonna listen anyway. From both sides.
mm, just because they don't listen, don't mean it don't need to be said. Though, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
And here's the
And
thing, man. Here's the thing, man. We all have egos. That's just as human beings, no matter what color, we all have egos. You know what I'm saying? It's with the understanding that you're not going to reach everybody. You know what I'm saying? And you know how that makes sense? Knowing that fact that you're not going to reach everybody, because when people was trying to reach you, you wasn't fucking listening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So are you going to be a hypocrite in that regard, bro? You know what I'm saying? Only thing you can say, no matter how old, only thing you can say is say, hey, look here, man, I see you going through some shit. I got a suggestion. I don't want to hear your suggestion. And then here it is. It doesn't diminish you.
Everybody that comes to me, and I hope y'all do too. Everybody that come to me and have a suggestion, I listen to them. You see what I'm saying? And then I come
There's
back to
listening,
you and see
there's
what y'all
listening,
think.
there's listening, and then there's listening. Sometimes you can listen to a situation where you feel strongly about, but this person is adamant about it. You have to make a choice whether or not you feel, no matter how much love or whatever you have for that person, because you want them to do right, you got to let them go through their own process. You got to let their head. You got to let their head get bumped in their process. Now there are some people, and it would seem to me very few people who learn from other people's mistakes. That's a virtue, bro. All of us learn from our mistakes, not other people's. Most of us do. You know, so why would you have an argument with somebody who come to the conclusion that you ain't telling me what I want to hear. Damn, what you saying that I need to hear. Do you continue to argue with that person, man? Because right there, by virtue of that statement, they already cut off from you. And from there, moving forward, it's an argument, right? It's an argument. And the reason why, and the reason why I don't get caught up in that is because, but damn, what you just described, I did the same shit. I didn't learn because there was a situation I could lose.
Everybody, I'm sorry, Fluke, for real. I put this on the screen because this is one of Jaquari's good friends from childhood. He's a white guy. He's a good guy, man. Tell him what your man's name is, Jaquari.
Damon. White dude named Damon.
Yeah. So when I'm putting it up there, when I put him on the screen, I'm putting him up there for Jaquari, everybody. Go ahead and finish, Fluke. I'm sorry. Because I ain't want nobody to be offended.
No, what I'm saying is, man, I guess the point I'm making, man, and I think it's this process that everybody, if they're honest with themselves, they realize and respect the process. You know what I'm saying? When you're wrong, man, you're wrong. Don't try to argue the point when you know you're wrong.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Why do that? Because all you're doing is making the process worse. Nothing's being accomplished in that regard. You know, if you know you're wrong and you argue with somebody, hey, man, I saw you do it, bro. No, you didn't. Some foolish shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, yeah, I did this and this is how I was thinking in that process, but this is what I learned from it. You don't think a person who's borderline want to listen to your ass don't want to hear your failures, man, and how you overcame it? Because they
But the downside to that though is, bro, it only needs to work one time for you to become, addicted to it. You only have to argue. You only have to argue with one asshole and win, and then from that point on, that's your shit.
But why
That's what you're gonna do.
But why argue with an asshole when you know at the end of the damn day, there's nothing to come from it. It's just an argument.
To be able to call him an asshole, that's all. But look,
And that satisfies people.
That is that.
Yeah, I enjoy that. But hey, listen. Last question of the day. Who do you think our audience is? All right. I'll answer this first. And I mean this. One part of our audience are people who have been hurt in life by others and by life itself. That's one part of our audience. Another part of our audience are people who are climbing out of something and they can relate to who we are. This is why they stop. This is why they listen. This is why they have patience. And another part of our audience are, this is it's no age variant. It is young and old. The young and old can relate to everything that we say, even though the young may make an excuse to say, well, it ain't nothing but old people and I can't relate. You can relate because we talk about the human condition. That's the audience we have. Now, one day our audience is going to wake up and we're going to reap the benefits from it. And that day is coming soon. Of course we won't, we talk about joy. We talk about heartache. We talk about all these different things. And we have those kind of people in this audience. If you're looking for controversy, the controversy is why are you looking for something to be mad about when we're giving you something that's hope? That's the kind of audience I think we have. And we are many. It's up to who else? Who's up?
I think, man, we had it. Oh, go ahead, bro.
I think, man, what you just described, man, we should be monetized and making money and doing contracts, bro.
First of all, you notice I'm having patience with that.
Here's why I
They
say
gonna
that.
come around. They gonna come around. But go ahead.
Here's why I say that. If that is our motivation, then we would focus on that and we would talk about the negativity and we would talk about the heartache and we would talk about the pain and all that stuff. And you are right in that aspect that they're going to come around once they go through the process, once they go through situations in their own personal life. I think, man, with us that we hold this realm. You asked us. You asked the question. What was the question again?
What do you think our audience is on this
Our
podcast?
audience, our audience is how we grew up and understood our own lives. One day you're gonna fucking get it, but in the meantime, they're not because they haven't lived long enough. Man. And there's a and that's what makes us unique because we don't deviate from that. And we're honest about it. We give how many people you a person that's angry and upset and want to hold this line, draw a line and saying all that stuff. We know a lot of people that way, man. That's like that. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand that we in our 50s, bro, we didn't went through that shit. They're not gonna get it. Not unless the right person coming into their life or the right situation. You know what I'm saying? So if we stay the course, later on down the line, people gonna say, damn, they was on that shit, they was about it. I just wasn't in the place where I was willing and wanting to listen. You know what I'm saying? I think the thing that we can't do is get frustrated by it. Because we're speaking from our experience. We speaking from our experience as opposed to the things that we went through and overcame. We are successful in that aspect, man. Most people don't understand that, man, because they're struggling in the situation, and that anger is in the situation. So
No
they
doubt.
seek out somebody that they feel is on the same page with them. What they can handle is somebody say, "Hey, man, I was there too. This is how I overcame it." But it was my own personal experience because I paid attention to what I needed to pay attention to, and that was to be my better self. Most people ain't trying to be their better self; they just trying to be right. You know what I'm saying? And whatever they're dealing with, anger, disappointment, resentment, revenge. See, we're not in that stage, bro. We past that. We in our 50s. We at dude. Have a shake, man. Have your favorite shake, man, and cool the fuck out, dude. Tomorrow gonna be better. You're gonna figure out how to get through it. But you're not if you're gonna keep listening to this clown over here who's not even in the same space you at. At least you trying to figure it out. This person is trying to spit vitriol and anger and all this stuff because that's what they're feeling. That's what they're feeling. You know what I'm saying? What you feeling, man? If you have a family, what you feeling, man, you got to be cautious about that shit, bro. Because that can affect somebody that you raising. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It can it affect them in a negative way.
exactly.
No, you have to be wise, like our dad. Because once our dad put all three of us out of his house or whatever, and we called him asking for advice, what did he say? Son, I gave you my best self and I raised you. You got to be a man and use your own head and work through your own shit.
No doubt. Jaquari, what kind of
Well, I gotta be honest.
what kind of audience
But
do we have?
I gotta be honest, man. I mean, as I said several times before, man, I don't particularly watch the podcast, uh, and it's out of I would say vanity. It's out of insecurity. It's out of it comes from a whole pool of shit. But I'm concerned with entertaining me, man. I really am.
Yeah, I
You
can
know,
respect
would I watch us if I wasn't involved? Yeah, I would. You know what I mean? Just to get that different.
Yeah.
It's just not. I mean, there's not a lot of recycled shit with us. It's not the same as other other podcasts, and I really don't like comparing us to other podcasts. I mean, we could be sitting on a freaking porch somewhere, man. We could be you know in each other's basement somewhere, sitting around, with a gallon of liquor. That's what this is, man. This is us letting the world in on you know the Armstrong boys time. And I'm not saying that people should be privileged to experience, but you definitely enjoy it. Depending on what your mindset is.
Yeah.
You know, this makes me feel good, man.
No doubt.
It does, and whether it be 50 people or 5 million people, man, it's not gonna change the way I feel about this venture.
I
No
can
doubt.
respect that, bro.
Hey, let me just say this real quick. Jaquari, people in our 50s are listening to rap music because we grew up off of rap music, right?
Hmm.
Now, if you 50 something and listen to Megan Thee Stallion, ladies, and be throwing your hip out trying to do the shit that she do, or Glorilla and all of that shit, now that's maturity. You
Did you
feel what
watch
I'm
the
saying?
BT Awards, man?
I know I was really disappointed in that, man.
Not
Not
not in
not the
decades,
fact,
bro.
not hating on them. They getting their money, right? But was it anything that had to do with R&B or anything like that? Because I was tuning in and out. But
Man,
let me end this to say, and then I want you two to give me last words. Let me end this to say, we are unique, and this is not going throwing out the people. No. This is a unique podcast, and I can truly say, in the immortal words of Kendrick Lamar, the young old head, they are not like us. Any last words, gentlemen?
go ahead, Smoke.
Hey, man, it's been an occasion, fellas, as it usually is. And I look forward to the next time.
My last words, man, is that in the experience, the situation I'm in, man, people are looking at me and watching and making judgment. But the reason why it don't bother me, man, is because I'm paying attention to my mistakes and what I need to do better for myself. You know what I'm saying? So other people's opinion, I really, really, I'll listen to it. It all depends on the person, somebody that's close to me, and it affects our relationship. But outside of that, my circle is what it is, and I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to uh, forgiveness. I'm open to you know somebody allowing me to the chance to be a better me. If you ask for more than that, then I can't fuck with you, and that's where I'm at with it.
Okay. Yo, we here every Friday. Every
Hmm.
Friday at 7:30. Um, people, if you want to come on to the podcast, let Damon, Jaquari, and myself know. Y'all know how to get to me. I'm on Facebook. What they call it? I'm outdoors on Facebook, IG, TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside. I sound like an old ass man saying that shit. But I'm outdoors though. I'm outdoors. And please,
Oh, he
please,
wrote it when you said outdoors. In the cool.
in the cool. Oh shit. This is a good point right here. Malika just said all your
Yeah,
shit
it
is good.
was.
But this right here at the end, what she just said, How do you do that? And with us, I'm trialing it. I'm putting it everywhere. I got it on TikTok. I got it on IG. I'm talking about shorts, not the whole joint. I'm talking about the gems that come out of every single show. So do us a favor. Go to the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments. I see your comments. I'm going to answer them. But hop on the movement, because the movement, we going uphill. But once we get on that slope, we're going to be as fast as a pistol click before you know it. This is where we're going to be. This is Strong Perspective Podcast. This is Keith Armstrong. Y'all have a great weekend and week coming up. We out. Peace.
Peace.